A very good morning, my dear students. Hope you all are healthy and safe. Stay home, stay safe. Welcome back to Social Studies Geography online class, 4th lesson, Climate of India. Children, in the previous class, we have discussed about climate, weather and climographs and factors influence the climate. 4 factors: latitude, relief, land-water relationship and upper air circulation. Now let us start seasons: summer season and winter season. Next topic: seasons, winter season. The temperature in the Indian landmass considerably reduced from mid-November and this cold season continue till February. January is as usually the coldest month. Day temperature sometimes drops below 10 degrees Celsius in several parts of our country. However, the cold weather is more pronounced in the northern India. Here look at the children. So, however, the cold weather is more pronounced in the northern part of India. South India, especially the coastal area. This is coastal region. We have long coastal region from Gujarat to Kanyakumari and Odisha to Tamil Nadu. So, especially the coastal area enjoy a moderate climate. A temperature remains well above 20 degrees Celsius. Understand, children? A large part of southern India, because of its long coastal line, comes under the moderate influence of the seas. 3 sides seas: East Bay of Bengal, West Arabian Sea and South Indian Ocean. So as such, the difference between the temperature of day and nights, that of summer season and winter season, it is not much difference. So this is known as equable climate. It is equable climate. Southern part have equable climate and temperature remains well above 20 degrees Celsius. So during the winter season, the weather is generally pleasant with clear sky and low humidity and cool breeze. So cyclone depression coming from Mediterranean Sea called western disturbances. So, cyclone depression coming from Mediterranean Sea called western disturbances cause low moderate rainfalls over northern part of India. This rainfalls is boon to wheat crop, which is generally cultivated in Rabi season. So, India lies in the trade wind belt, northern hemisphere. Northeast trade winds blow over India from land to sea are therefore dry. Understand, children? India lies in the trade wind belt of northern hemisphere. Northeast trade blow over India from land to sea and are therefore dry. So, however, some amount of rainfalls occurs in the Coromandel coast of Tamil Nadu. Here. Understand, children? Coastal region divided into 3 parts. Coastal area divided into 3 parts. Here Utkal coast and Utkal coast in Odisha, Sirkar coast in Andhra Pradesh and Coromandel coast in Tamil Nadu. So some amount of rainfalls occur on the Coromandel coast of Tamil Nadu from these winds. Understand? North-east trade winds. So as they pick up moisture from the Bay of Bengal while crossing it. Understand, children? Next, summer season. During the hot season, as we move from southern to northern part of our country. During the hot season, in summer season, as we move from southern to northern part of our country, the average temperature increases. Starting in April, the temperature rises and slowly the maximum day temperature exceeds 37 degrees Celsius in the northern plains of India. So 37 degrees Celsius in the northern plains of India. By mid-May, the temperature during the day may touch 41 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius in many parts of our country, especially in northwest plains and central India. Understand, children? By mid-May month, the temperature during the day may touch 41 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius in many parts of our country, especially in northern west plains and central India. Even the minimum temperature does not go 20 degrees below. So, the northern plains experiences dry and hot winds are called Lu. So, this is one more question. What are Lu? The northern plains experience dry and hot winds are called Lu. So, towards to the end of the summer season, pre-monsoon showers are common in the Deccan Plateau. Understand, children? This helps in the early ripening of mangoes and other plantation crops in Peninsular Plateau, India. Understand, children? Generally, towards the end of summer season, pre-monsoon showers are common in Deccan Plateau. These help in the early ripening of mangoes and other plantation crops in Peninsular India. Hence, they are locally known as mango showers. Mango showers in Andhra Pradesh, AP. So, these mango showers are the main reason for the ripening of mangoes in summer season. Next topic, advancing monsoon. Now, we are moving on to the most important climatic condition or like seasons, which we are going to address like each and every person's life in our country, especially in India, where 80% of people depend on the agriculture. That is the rainy season. We have discussed about the summer season and we have discussed about the winter seasons. But the crucial part of Indian people life depends on the rainy season. Let us see here what are the factors that are influencing the rainy climatic condition of our nation. So, main thing is advancing monsoons. How do the monsoons develop or how do the monsoons reach to India? What are the factors that are influencing the monsoons? So, now the word monsoon. Now the word monsoons. When it comes to the word monsoons, monsoon is derived from the Arabic word called mosam. When the Arabian traders are moving towards India, they experienced the change of winds. This transformation of the winds is known as the word mosam. So it is from the Arabic language, as it moves on the monsoon climatic conditions are experienced only 20 degrees north to 20 degrees south of the latitudes which are near to the equatorial regions where high pressure and low pressure regions are present. So then how do we get the winds from the Indian Ocean? Which factors pull us the wind towards them? We have a Tibetan plateau moving all over the world as a roof of the world. Tibetan plateau. So how do we get the winds from the Indian Ocean? Which factors pull us the wind towards them? So we have a Tibetan plateau. We have a Tibetan plateau moving all over the world as a roof of the world, which is nearly 9 kilometers above from the normal level of the sea level, above the sea elevation. So if we look at this, the Tibetan plateau, as it is in the higher elevation, and we have experienced summer climatic condition. Understand? The Tibetan plateau, it is in the higher elevation and we have experienced summer climatic condition. In the northern part. So it gets completely dried up, hot, and becomes low pressure, which attracts the pressure from the all other western part of Indian Ocean. Understand? Indian Ocean. Understand, children? Once listen. The Tibetan plateau, it is in the higher elevation, and we are experienced here summer climatic condition. In the northern part, it gets completely dried up and hot. It becomes low pressure, which attracts the pressures from the all other western part of Indian Ocean and other regions. The Indian Ocean moisture winds are moving towards to the upper part of India. They get divided into two branches. Understand, children? Then flows as the southwest monsoons. The Indian Peninsula divides them into two branches: Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. So the Bay of Bengal branch strike the Bengal coast, here the Bengal coast, and southern face of the Shillong plateau. So then it gets deflected and flows westwards. So the Bay of Bengal branch winds strike the Bengal coast. Understand? Then it gets deflected and flows westwards along the Gangetic Valley. The Arabian Sea branch arrives at the west coast. This is coastal region, west coast of India, and moves northwards. Both the branches, Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch, both the branches reach India by the beginning of month of June, which is known as onset of monsoon. Onset of monsoon. This is 1 mark important question. What is onset monsoon? So next, they gradually spread over the entire country in 4 or 5 weeks. Understand, children? So the bulk of annual rainfalls in India is received from southwest monsoons. Southwest monsoon. So, which winds give much rainfalls in India? This is 1 mark important question. Which winds gives much rainfalls in India? So, southwest monsoon. The amount of rainfalls is very high along the west coast due to the Western Ghats. In the northern East India due to the highest peaked hills, and Tamil Nadu coast. Here Tamil Nadu coast, however, remains mostly dry during the seasons. It is the rain shadow region. Tamil Nadu Coromandel coast is rain shadow region of the Arabian Sea branch and is parallel to the Bay of Bengal branch. Topic: retreating monsoon. In the month of June, we have experiencing of Arabian Sea branch winds moving and setting of monsoons. In the previous before we have discussed monsoon and onset monsoons. Once the winds move on towards the upper part and then move on up, then settled here. When that becomes high pressure to low pressure regions and they become dry. So the regions which are experienced cold climatic conditions. So cold climatic conditions here in the southern part of India also had to experience the humidity. Southern part of India also experienced humidity, hot climatic conditions. Hot climatic conditions, and it's like normal average 30 degrees to 35 degrees Celsius temperature. Temperature will be experienced during the winter season. Understand, children? Southern part of India also had to experience the humidity and hot climatic conditions. It's like normal average temperature 30 degrees to 35 degrees Celsius temperature will be experienced during the winter season. Understand, children? So the temperature, that kind of temperature we find in the October month. That's why it is called October heat. Understand? So because of this October heat, the land gets heated and then becomes burning of a place again like a semi-summer region. So the October heat region moves on towards upper part of the western part of India, especially Thar Desert. This is desert region. So Thar Desert and dry lands are located here. From here again the low pressure winds starts to attract the Bay of Bengal branch winds. So here located here developed low pressure. So these low pressure winds re-attract the Bay of Bengal winds. So the low pressure conditions which once prevailed over northwestern India move far south to the center of Bay of Bengal by early November. Understand children? During this period, cyclonic depressions are common which originate over Andaman areas. Here Andaman areas. These tropical cyclones are often very destructive. The thickly populated deltas are Godavari and Krishna and Kaveri are their targets. No year ever goes disaster free these regions. Occasionally these tropical cyclones visit Sundarbans and Bangladesh too. Bulk of the rainfalls of Coromandel coast, this is Coromandel coast, bulk of the rainfalls of Coromandel coast is derived from depression and cyclones. Understand children? Retreating monsoon. This topic, global warming and climatic change. So as Earth started to take its shape from a fireball to a planet. So many gases were released. These gases did not escape into outer space because of the Earth's gravitational pull and it still holds them back. So the atmosphere traps a lot of solar energy. That reaches the Earth by preventing it from totally escaping back into the space. This is called greenhouse effect. This is called greenhouse effect. So this is important and vital for life to survive on this planet. Much of the warming that has been occurring since the Industrial Revolution is because of human activities, main human activities. So hence the current global warming trend is called AGW. AGW means anthropogenic global warming. AGW means anthropogenic global warming. Anthropogenic means caused by humans. Anthropogenic means caused by humans. Anthropogenic global warming and climate change. So AGW is causing many changes in the distribution of heat in the Earth system. So an international organization called Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, was formed to address this issue. So the IPCC in 2015 Paris Summit came to an agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in order to limit the rise in the global average temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrialization levels. So on this agreement, total 195 countries are signed. But the disagreement are between developed countries and developing countries. Disagreement between developed countries and developing countries. Developed countries are the industrialized, economically more advanced countries of the West. So on other hand, developing countries are not much industrialized and advanced economically. So naturally there are some disagreements between these two countries. Developed countries want to developing countries to cut down on burning coals and other activities that add greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. Developing countries argue that developed countries developed precisely by burning fossil fuels in their development. So developing countries say that their economic development will be seriously damaged if they don't burn fossil fuels. So scientists from around the world agree on this much. AGW is real, it is happening, and it is leading to rapid and drastic climatic change. So what are the impact of climate change on India? So though a rise of 2 degrees Celsius in average temperature may appear to be small, it would be result in a rise of 1 meter in a sea level by early next century. So this would be affect large portion of our coastal area, and millions of people would have to be shifted. They would be lost their livelihoods. So impact of climate change on India. So a rise of 2 degrees Celsius in average temperature may be appear to be small, but it would be result in a rise of 1 meter sea levels by early next centuries. Understand, children? Okay, children. Hope you all understood the topic climate of India. Thank you.